Alright, welcome back to ROADTRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is day number 143 of the 365-day trivia road trip. This year we're doing 365 straight days of 21-question random knowledge trivia quizzes. There's 20 questions up front. There's a question 21 tiebreaker at the very end of the video if you need to stick around for that. Thank you for watching, and good luck! Question number 1. Although they were originally built to give firefighters quick access to the chimney, what is the popular name for the railed rooftop platform that got its name from the legend of the wives of whalers in the 19th century Nantucket who stood on them and stared forlornly out to sea? They started to call that the Widow's Walk. Question number 2. They form from low-pressure centers over warm waters. The Coriolis effect determines which direction these storms spin. What are these storms that are defined by having winds of at least 74 miles per hour, making them stronger than a tropical depression and a tropical storm? The answer is a hurricane. Question number 3. After witnessing the Trinity test, what was the name of the scientist, sometimes called the father of the atomic bomb, who famously remarked, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds"? The father of the atomic bomb was J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is the answer. Question number 4. A 72-letter name for God is sometimes used in this practice, which also has 10 sephirot, or emanations, that describe how the divine reveals itself in human affairs. Its practitioners believe in reincarnation. What is the name of this religious philosophy in Jewish tradition? The answer is Kabbalah. Question number 5. For a very long time, the United States Library of Congress was considered the largest library in the world. Now there is another library that rivals it in terms of miles of shelves and cataloged items. What is the name of this European library? The answer is the British Library. Question number 6. This singer's debut album included the song Chasing Pavements. One of her biggest hits includes the lyrics like, "Let me photograph you in this light." Who is this English musician that was the first person to win an Oscar for a song from a James Bond movie? The answer is Adele. Question number 7. This Chinese dynasty fought a war with the Goguryeo dynasty of Korea, which ended the Three Kingdoms period. What was the name of this dynasty that ruled China from 618 to 907 CE? The answer is the Tang Dynasty. Question number 8. Pico da Neblina is the highest mountain in this country and is located near the equator. The martial art of capoeira originated here, as did the celebration of Carnival. What is the name of this South American country where Portuguese is spoken? The answer is Brazil. Question number 9. This actor and musician played the superhero Hancock on screen. His Grammy-winning music includes Parents Just Don't Understand and Getting Jiggy With It. Who was this actor that portrayed boxer Muhammad Ali, but is best known for his role as Agent J in the Men in Black films? The answer is Will Smith. Question number 10. In 1699, French visitors called the spot Red Stick because of a boundary marker pole stained with animal blood standing on the river bluff. Members of the Huma tribe lived to the north of the Red Stick, and the Bayagula lived to the south of what modern-day U.S. capital city? Red Stick in French is Baton Rouge. Question 11. Because helium has a lower value for this property than normal air, your voice sounds higher in helium. This property of matter will cause an object to float or sink compared to the water it is placed into. What is this property of matter which is calculated by dividing mass by volume? If you divide mass by volume, you find the density of an object. Question number 12. These irrational fears may cause anything from mild anxiety to panic attacks. Their name comes from the name of a Greek god of fear and horror. What is the name given to these fears which people will go into great lengths to avoid? We know those fears as phobias. Question 13. The main character of this poem looks up to the Old North Church and sees that the belfry put 2 lights up, knowing that if 1 lantern is up, the British are coming by land, and if 2 are up, they are coming by sea. What is this poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow? The main character of this poem was Paul Revere. The answer is Paul Revere's Ride. Question number 14. This island, formerly called Formosa, is ruled by a government that claims to still have control over all of China and was once led by Chiang Kai-shek. What is this self-governing entity that is a part of China as a special administrative region of the PRC under the One Country, Two System framework? The answer is Taiwan. Question 15. May 20th, 1873 marked an historic day, the birth of blue jeans. It was on that day that Jacob Davis and what more famous man obtained a U.S. patent on the process of putting rivets into men's work pants for the very first time? His name was Levi Strauss. Question 16. A square matrix is a matrix that has an equal number of rows and columns. One example of a square matrix is what number puzzle, popular in Japan, where every row and column must contain the numbers 1 through 9. That puzzle is called Sudoku. Question 17. One former leader of this organization, Don Black, created the hate website Stormfront. Nathan Bedford Forrest was an early leader of what organization glorified in D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation, which opposed carpetbaggers and scalawags? This controversial organization is the KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan. Question number 18. The trail originally began in Franklin, Missouri, but the trailhead was moved to Fort Osage and by 1827 to Independence. Covering approximately 800 miles, the Santa Fe Trail extends from Independence, Missouri to what present-day state? The Santa Fe Trail is named for Santa Fe, New Mexico. New Mexico is the answer. Question 19. In one of the stories featuring the famous detective, Sherlock Holmes asks Watson to meet him at this address where he lives and conducts his business. What is this address where Mrs. Hudson serves as the landlady? The address of Sherlock Holmes is 221B Baker Street. Question 20. In January of 2016, some billboards could not display the full value of the winnings from this game because it exceeded $999 million. To receive the grand prize of which American lottery game, one must match 5 white balls and this game's namesake ball? The lottery game that we're looking for is the Powerball. And I've been kind of slipping lately because the Powerball is my retirement plan, and I don't know if I've bought a Powerball ticket since I've been back in America. So, not sure how I'm supposed to retire with the Powerball winnings. If I never buy a Powerball ticket, I should probably get on that. I don't know what it is right now. Probably over $100 million. I think I could do that. If I did win the Powerball, I would go back to England for at least a few months so I could go back to all the places that I traveled and do them as not a poor person. I'd ride in one of those fancy boats, get my tea lunch served in the canal boat, go to all the places that I couldn't afford to get into. I think that's what I would do if I won the Powerball. Anyways, not important. I'm rambling. Here's question 21, the tiebreaker for today. The eruption of Mount Tambora in the Dutch East Indies was so massive that it caused worldwide social, economic, and climate changes. So much so that it was called the year without a summer. And the increase in rainfall that year, all the way over in Europe, is suggested as a key factor that caused Napoleon's downfall at the Battle of Waterloo. What year was this explosive geologic event? The year was 1815. Whichever player got closest to 1815 wins the point. If it was tied after 20 questions, the player who got closest to the 1815 wins the point and wins the game. Congratulations. See you tomorrow.